Hi, my name is Shaun. I work as a creative relative in marketing for Post Malaysia. Growing up, I was the troubled child in my family, never really felt loved nor understood. I felt like I was the black sheep of the family. I grew up in church but hadn't really found God for myself. So from late teens to early 20s, I had a string of relationships with friends in church and also the Christian circle. I had the right intentions, but my heart wasn't at the right place at that time. I was looking for affirmation and belonging, to some sense, and identity. I was looking for someone to fill a void in me that I needed to know that I was accepted for who I am. Some were flings, others were a bit more serious that lasted for a couple of years. A few were rebound relationships and some were just obviously not going to go anywhere. They didn't leave me feeling full or content. I got baptized at 23 and not long after I decided I was tired of this pursuit for the right person. I told God that I wanted to take a break and just to set things right. I wanted to be set apart and didn't want to jump into the next relationship for at least the next 3 years. So I spent the next 3 years focusing on things of God. I was actively serving God in my local church. I felt like God wasn't done with me yet. There's much more growing up and I needed to work on. And God was shaving off those rough edges as I grew closer to God. Eventually, I found myself praying to God and asked if He had any suggestions on who would be a good fit for me. This is actually the first time I asked God for some form of input in matters of my relationship. Straight away, almost audibly, I sensed God drop this name of this young lady from my church in my mind. At that time, we weren't in the same social circle, but I knew of her. The next day, I sensed another nudge, like a confirmation that I'd heard from God about it. A year went by and I finally initiated a conversation. She needed help moving and we became friends and started to get to know each other. 6 months later, I asked Yan-Hui to be my girlfriend. We dated for another 3 years before getting engaged. With a pandemic-style wedding, she's now my wife and the best thing to come out of 2020. Looking back, I really needed that break to grow up and find satisfaction in God, rather than expecting someone else to fill that void in me. It was a reality check season as God highlighted areas of my character that needed forming in order for me to go into my next relationship as a man confident in my identity in God and ready to value my wife, not for what she adds to me, but for who God made her to be, and to play a role in helping her fulfill what God has planned for her and us together. Hindsight has a funny way of teaching us a lot. If I continued on my search, I would have missed Yan-Hui and could have wasted a lot of other ladies' time trying to convince myself and that I was lovable after all. So Yan-Hui, I love you. Thank you for letting me help you move house.